friends.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Chris, okay. Yeah. All right, we're starting off with hot hands. Specifically, what I'm looking for you to do is always make contact with wrists, elbows, or shoulders or head. And I'm specifically looking to get either at least one, ideally both of my elbows inside of his elbows, and then always my head connected anywhere between his shoulders. So it can look like this, it can look like this, it can look like this. It doesn't matter as long as my elbows, at least one's on the inside, preferably both, and my head is always connected between the shoulders. I want to maintain as long as possible. He wants the same thing. So if we start to play a little bit, he's going to the inside. I'm looking to get position back. Is continuous. Make sense? All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Which the next? Myself. Now, finishing hotel renovations. We start on irrigation before we guys get these started. Yeah. So last time I was here, you actually had all of your thing. Yeah, this wall still yet to be paid. It's just as long as you got why that just have to take it in. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I wish I had fire. It's so like low pressure. Can't get it. Get up along. Get up along. I had some there. There, here's so you can feel anything talking about. JC, is there more than one round? We're gonna add to the teams like say. Need to be careful. No, circle. Legs. Be sure to get your head involved. Get your head involved, guys. All right, Tom, relax. All right, we're gonna add to this. Y'all know the drill if you've been around recently. Let's see. All right. Same conditions apply. I'm still working the punch, wrist, head, elbows, but now I can also I can either dominate the inside space with at least one elbow, or I can dominate his one elbow in between both of mine. Nothing changes though about my head placement. I'm still looking to connect my head and the shoulders. Like it's all, you also can play up here and not involve the head, especially if you're starting to set up like foot sweeps and stuff like that. But right now, I specifically want you dominating the inside space with the head where possible. Okay. Bonus points if we can get in here and start pushing up on the jaw and through the ear. That's bonus points. All right. But you can dominate. You can still dominate the inside space with your elbows, or you can dominate his one elbow in between your two. But my head position doesn't change at all. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. But we're going. They don't reach for it, not good. Big fight. We're going to get scared. Made it to you, Jeff. Relax. Good job. All right, now we're gonna play the head and single dilemma. All right, so everything's the same in terms of grip fight. Like I want you looking, always want you looking for good inside position. But the objective now, you can actually win the game. You can either make his head come forward and his hands post on the mat. Okay, I don't need to do anything else. I just need to make his head come forward, his hands post on the mat. Okay, or I can either do this, or I can lock my hands around the leg. If I lock my hands around the leg, or actually, yeah, let's say if we bring his head forward, that at least have to connect my chest to the back. Okay, if we do this, either one, you can win. What I want you specifically looking to do is play this dilemma off of play both attacks off of one another. So if I'm going for a strong snap down, and he's giving me a big reaction, that's going to leave the left behind. Okay, so be thinking about that. Or if I shoot real hard for the single, his head comes forward, he's susceptible to the snap down. So I want you to play with both of them. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right. All right, we play these games to win. We play these to win. We're not drilling. Good job, Nevada. Let's try to keep our head on the inside. Or if you want to keep your head on the outside, like it's still scramble it. Right. It's not easy. Yeah, and then I'm like, that's good. I know. Yeah, probably for it, and not that I'm oh, good job. Good job. Start. Good job.
Nope, we're not doing that. Okay.
Hey, good job. Get some water if you need it. Water if you need it.
We did go to school. So good.
Yeah, I lost like a bunch of tournament training and stuff. Yeah,
Maybe us two.
I think I lost.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
we might be able to.
All right, guys. Let's hit one more game before we go into some class time. But one standing, one supine, specifically supine, not seated. Got to stay on your back. My whole job is to make connections with his ankles, his knees, and his hips with my hands and my feet. His whole job is to deny me of these connections, not let me make meaningful connections. And we're going to play this out until I can either well, there's only one way to win. He can't win. He's only trying to strip connections. We're going to play this out until I can put him on his butt. Okay? Or until I tell you to switch. Okay, so as we start to play, general rule though, I want you to focus, if you're the guard player, I really want you to focusing on attaching to him as quickly as possible in those specific spots and keeping the soles of your feet pointed at him at all times. If he wants to make my the soles of my feet point away from him in any direction other than at his body, and I want them pointed at him. Okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. They hit their butt, they lose. When's the Alabama this weekend? If you're on top, address those connections immediately. That's the whole point of this game. So you're not even thinking about passing, you're just thinking about denying connections. They can't do anything meaningful to you if you deny the connections. Yes, yes. Yeah. I got If you haven't switch now. Get it back. You're trying to just flatten me out now. Get your feet pointed at me. Yep. Perfect. I think my dad's What?
Yeah. I'll hang out here. Oh, no, yeah. I forget that.
They both help.
Don't worry, I'll stop.
I need to tap my
You got my shorts.
It's fourth like that.
Yeah. That's all. That's all good.
No sections.
Oh,
And
stop me.
Good job. Time, relax.
yeah.
Everybody feel nice and warm?
Hands.
Reminds me of jazz hands.
Yes.
Oh, no, spirit fingers. What's that?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Yeah, I was like, I knew it's Kristen does. Okay. Hey, Kristen. Yeah. All right. So it's the beginning of the month, so we start a new monthly flow. So tonight, take a break from all the escapes series we've been on, and we kind of install this new flow. So turn. Turn around. What do you? Yeah, thank you. All right. So this is the flow. We're going to break it down segment by segment for instruction and drilling, but just so we do it all at once. We're going to start in turtle. Have a deep, tight waist. Post out, knee tap, bumping forward to this void as he starts to come back up. My knee fills this space. I take my grips, bring him forward, throw the hook in, and I take the underhook side, ideally with a triangle or at least outside control at the minimum. All right, let's come back to this side real quick. Back. All right, so now we land in back on the underhook side. Get that underhook lead. All right. Top side control. Now, some of you will recognize this from our comp classes. Now we're going to be looking for our straight jacket system, specifically working towards our single cross. Don't worry if you don't know what this is, we'll get there. Okay, so we're going to do a pass off. Trap the arm. All right, we're going to come in for a choke. Go hunting for this hand. But now, like last month, we finished this one-handed, right? But sometimes you got guys that are just relentless and you just, for whatever reason, can't get in there. So now we're going to switch off to an auxiliary attack. Go here. 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 All right, so that's the whole flow. We're going to go turtle to the back to a failed straight jacket, like a one-arm strangle. And we don't really feel good about proceeding with that. We can fall back to a rear trunk. All right. And then in comp class tonight, we're actually going to go through some kind of like C, D, and E attacks from that same system. So if you're here at 7, go through that too. All right. Any questions so far before we dive in? Okay. Let's start with just attacking the turtle. Okay. So here, we're going to assume we were able to cover the hips and get a tight waist. All right. This is going to be presupposed. If you don't have a tight waist, then we're going to attack turtle a different way. But with my tight waist, I'm going to remain heavy. Remember, it's almost never a good idea for me to disconnect my chest and my back from him. Almost never. Okay, some certain circumstances where it might make sense, but I want to stay heavy on him. I want him bearing my weight. I want it hard for him to move. I want him immobile as much as possible. So I've got my tight waist. I'm going to post out. I'm going to bring my back knee 90 degrees, please. So I can see here. Cover the hips, tight waist. I'm heavy towards the head. I post out. I'm going to knee tap him on this knee. As I feel him start to fall over, I'm going to bring it back. Okay, so I make this little pocket for him to fall into. I'm still going to remain as heavy as possible in this tight waist. So even as he starts to come up, I try to let him pull me up, right? I sink my hips into him, and I'm looking to insert this knee right here into the space that forms between his elbow and his ribs. Okay. Now I'm going to look to collect the seatbelt. throw my hook in, and then I pull him to the other side. We immediately find the near side wrist, and we ideally get a body triangle at a minimum top side hip control. Okay, one more time. We'll do a different angle. Okay, so let's presuppose I get this tight waist. Okay, pose, knee tap. Okay, seat my hips. My knee comes in. Seat belt, hook. Come to the underhook side with a body triangle or top side hip control, and I'm finding that primary that near side wrist as quickly as possible. Okay. All right. Any questions on that? All right. 1, 2, 3.
There, yep, and then this is actually so both sides, so change it.
Guys, with your tight waist, make sure your elbows penetrating all the way through. You're really trying to grab the near side hip if you can.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, you're trying to grab all the way across their hip line, as deep as you can.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
You want us to stop
Like we
that?
really just.
Go to stop because we're gonna keep going in a second. I broke down the whole thing into like 4 things. Yeah. But if you just like want a choker, just go for it. I'm not gonna say no.
I'll let you get too far. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Hey, when you're taking their back, your chest to back connection is everything. If you don't have that, you don't have the back.
Yeah. Please go out here. Oh, yeah. Go forward.
Too high.
Same side? It must be that.
Yeah, it's that side. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay. All right, here.
Get your left knee towards the ceiling, Brian. All right, you're on that foot. Cover his hips. Yep. Well, now we're gonna post out and knee tap him. Let's bring him down. Nope. Get back up. Let's do it in steps, bro. All right. Tight waist, knee up, cover his hips. All right, we're gonna post our hand on the mat.
That's right.
My weight's forward on him. My right knee taps his near side knee. And then as he tips over, I remove my knee so he can fall in that void. No, but you got to take your knee back out. We take it out so he fall. Yeah, you put a little floor there and then you take it away. All right. Yep. Little knee tap, and then take it away as he falls in. Okay. Nope. Let's come back. We're going ahead of ourselves. All right. So we still got our tight waist, right? You just brought him down.
Right.
Okay. As he comes, no, you got a tight waist, bro. With your left hand. A tight waist around his waist.
Tight way.
Okay. Around his waist.
Around his waist.
Okay.
I was thinking we had seat. Actually.
Well, not yet. No, you're good.
Okay.
Try to put your left hand on his hip. You don't need to lock your hands right now. Okay. Now, as Tucker starts to come back up, that's where this knee's going to slide in. You've already got it there right now, right? And then you're going to lock a seatbelt. Okay, so you just went like a few steps ahead. I'm trying to break this down like real like granularly. All right, so now a seatbelt and your top hook, your left foot's gonna come inside, and now you're gonna pull him over to the underhook side and take top side hip control. All right, just need to slow down the entry.
Yeah.
That's what really what we're trying to drill here is just that entry. This is a stopping point.
Yes.
Reverse your stance a little bit. Like cover his hips with your hips. There you go. Yep. And, on near side, yeah, near side, and then you're gonna knee tap him, and then pull your knee back out. When I say that's what I mean by knee tap. Like so, we're just kind of like pulling him as we put our knee in the way, and then we bring it back. As he comes up, so come back, Brian, on your side. So let's take this super slow. As he starts to try to come up, your right knee's gonna slide in that pocket. Yep. All right. Now you're gonna lock your seatbelt. And now your left hook comes up top and all the way across the hips if you can. Go ahead and set yourself up for the body lock. There you go.
Good.
Nice.
Then the triangle.
Right now, we're just stopping here.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm too focused on the body one. But yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when it does, but next
Hey, bring it in. Bring it in. Here's a couple of here's just like a couple of things we need to refine before we move on. Hey, bring it in, guys. Very much one side. Okay, first thing I'm seeing is some of you are kind of are taking kind of a hip to hip approach. I'd like to see you cover his hips instead with your hips up, open hips. His hips are between my knees. Specifically when I'm working this tight waist position, because when I bring him down, okay, when he goes to get back up, if my hips are not here, it's really hard for me to like sink into him. So as he goes to scissor, it's super hard. And I'm not positioned at all for a back take. Right? I'm not covering his hips at all. So like how am I supposed to get my hooks in, right? But here, when he goes to scissor, I can sink my hips into him as he goes to get up, just make it difficult. And my hips are covering his hips. So I can cover him, I can actually get my hooks in. Okay. So let's not start for this particular attack. I don't want to be in this like head to head position. And just generally, I would recommend if you're going to attack turtles, I would recommend defaulting to cover his hips with your hips. All I mean is put his hips between your knees. I think this is probably a better default. Would you agree, Krista? Yeah, Alex, you agree? I think that's probably the best default. Okay. Next, when y'all go for this knee tap, let's do 90. When y'all go for this knee tap, some of you are just kind of pulling him over the knee like this, okay, which could work, but I want to maximize the amount of space I create here, okay, and I don't want to get trapped where he's on top of my leg and kind of immobilizes me a little bit. I want to retain some of my mobility. So as I post out, I'm utilizing this tight waist to pull him, but I want to pull him over this wedge, which is my knee. I put the knee right above his knee, right against his knee. And as I pull him, he starts to tip. I want to take it away. So he like falls in this much bigger void that gets created. Now I have that much more mobility advantage and time where he's got even more distance he has to climb to get back up, all kinds of good stuff. Everything's in my favor if I create more space here. Not so much that he can just flatten out, right? That'd be dumb. But enough to where as he goes to scissor his legs, I can make it difficult and I can slide that knee in there. Okay. Next, lastly, when we take anybody's back, I need my chest connected to their back. Okay, so like if I'm already kind of doing this number as I'm reaching for my seatbelt, I've already lost. Right? Yeah, it's like it's not gonna happen. So like stay glued to your partner through the entire performance. Okay, we're here. And we're here. I'm staying glued. I'm even driving up until I can get this. And when I throw this hook across, ideally, I want to throw the hook all the way across. I want to go ahead and set myself up for that topside hip control. This is sufficient, but it's just that much more I have to adjust when just a few more degrees is free in this position, right? Because what's he going to do right now? He's getting his back taken. I'm not sure he's going to really be able to stop my hook from going from here to here. Okay. And it's already there, ready for the body triangle when we get up here. But that chest to back connection is everything. All right. Any questions on those 3 details? All right, let's hit 5 more and then we'll move on. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now I want.
Or 6
So you want like 20 of them.
or 20, whatever.
Yeah. We'll just be back there after. It's just when you're continuing.
We're gonna do the whole sequence at the end if time permitting. I just want to make sure we get to each part. And it's recorded, so study at home.
There we go.
All the way across, Tucker. All the way across there.
I don't know if I can physically do it. You don't have
Yeah, that's perfect. That's good. Good.
Are we going for the triangle?
Not yet. We're still just on this first entry, just the entry phase. No, sir. No, sir. We got to get our knee in that space between his arms and his rib, his arm and his ribs.
Right knee.
And we really want our hips heavy on him. So as he's trying to get up and like scissor his legs to get up, we're sinking in with that tightness.
I did pull it out.
Like he should feel like he's trying to pull up 500 pounds at that age.
He starts going up.
You sink your hips into him, and your left knee has to come between the arms and the ribs as he gets up.
Okay.
For him to get up, he's gonna have to post out.
Okay.
Right, and then that hook needs to come in like a little sooner, but we'll clean it up. We'll clean it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna do hundreds of reps this month, in fact, so you're gonna get good at it. Let's try work the hook in. Just work the hook in soon.
Yeah. Nobody travel. Are we doing that?
Yeah, but I want to work that like cross hook before we even take the back. Like before we even pull you to the underhook side, I want to be inserting that hook.
I think I'm just really.
Sink your hips low, Ian. As he's trying to come up, sink your hips low into him.
Okay.
Like use that tight waist, keep your elbow tight to his hip bone, right? And just like use that leverage to just pull your hips into him.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like slow me down essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, more on the hips, but yeah. So you're kind of worried about I think the order of operations is off a little bit. Like you're trying to throw this hook in before you kind of wait here.
Yeah.
Whenever I pull as he starts to sit his legs get up, while making I'm seeing my head down,
Yeah.
hold on for so yeah, trying to see that. I'm just trying to make sure.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
What's that?
Let me try that. Let me slow it down.
Say, hey, over here, stay tight. here. I think a lot of people are trying to, they're trying to like allow the person to go up rather than actually, okay, make that much more fight.
I think, yeah, I didn't.
No.
All right, let's bring it in. Bring it in.
Set you up for that next.
That makes sense.
Something a bit off.
All right, we're a little over halfway through class. I want to make sure we get through the flow, so I'm moving on. But I'm going to give you one more thing here before we move on, and then I would encourage you to, especially y'all that we got some visitors don't come all the time, but if you plan on coming back this month, just rewatch this video because it's on YouTube. If you want to like really know the flow before you get in here, because we start off every class with at least 10 reps of this. So all month, everybody's going to do like at least 100 reps of this. One detail on this real quick is when I get this tight waist, ideally when I take a tight waist, I want to be as deep as I can. If I can grab his opposite hip, I would love that. I might not be able to, right? He might be tucked in tight. He might be bigger than, and I don't have the arm length, whatever. I want it as deep as I can, and I want my elbow inserted as deep as I can. I'm always pinching my elbow down towards my pocket, kind of through his pocket and into mine. And then whenever I hit this knee tap, okay, if I can, I'm inserting that tight waist even deeper. Because now, whatever kind of space he was covering up by being so shelled up, there's nothing in between me and the floor now. So I should be able to punch all the way through for that tight waist. Now, here's the thing that I probably didn't linger on long enough. When he goes to get up, some of you are just kind of following him up. And there's two things wrong here. I think we're trying to insert the hook. Like there's an order to these operations that matters. But I think we're trying to insert the hook too early. And also we're not making him pull me up. So the difference is right now, get up. Okay. Just get up. There you go. All right. Get up again quickly. All right. Now, when I said earlier, we sink our hips, I take my elbow is pinching through his pocket and into mine, and watch my hips. They're not coming up. They sink down. So now as he goes to get up, go. It's way harder, okay? Like, make him pull me up. That's the idea. Next, I'm sorry. Can you fix that? One of y'all fix the camera, please, if we get out of shot. Thank you. As he goes to get up, Christo is playing smart, too, because he's got this elbow tucked, right? It's hard for me to insert this, right? So for the sake of the drill, right, I need this daylight to form a bit. Even if it's not much, I need this knee to be able to insert between his arm and his ribs. I need my knee to be the floor, okay, between his ribs and the floor. All right. If I can't get that, this particular entry is going to be chalk. We're going to go somewhere else. But as he goes to get up, I'm making pull until it works in right there. Next, the seatbelt. This is first the wedge, then the seatbelt, then the hook. It can all happen fast, but we're doing it in order for a reason. All right, so even if I come down and now it comes across, that's fine. It can all happen super fast. And when I insert this hook, I ideally want to find his far hip already. Okay, we already went over that. I don't want to be up here. And it kind of depends on his position. He's already like kind of super flat, like kind of flatter instead of more up. But as much of this space as you can take up to the far hip, we want to take. Now it's as simple as pulling him to the other side. And I'm continuously back heeling here during that transition so that I keep that like, kind of like that. It's kind of like wearing a seatbelt. I'm keeping that part that goes across your waist. I'm keeping that tight to his waist as we transition to the other side. All right, does that all make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. Don't get overzealous with the hook. That's the main thing. And then make them carry your weight always. Always, no matter what position in jiu-jitsu you're in, make them carry you. Like make them do it like way more work than you're doing. That's what we always preach. Okay, next we're gonna start where we ended there in the back, underhook side. And again, if we get out of shot, please fix it. Thank you. All right. So we're underhook side with ideally a top side body triangle. Okay. I'm gonna loosen up while I'm talking. what's our number one thing that we're looking for in our straight jacket system? The very first thing like that I'm looking at in from my position right now. What's my number one priority right now?
Our sternum.
Anybody?
Try to learn more about this stuff.
I have a seatbelt right now. So what's my first thing if I want to start running a straight jacket system?
Get his hand.
Yeah, which hand?
His
His left hand. And
His left.
why?
So it's his defensive hand.
It's his primary defensive hand because if he gets a thumb post, he's super strong at preventing me from choking him. Okay, that's his primary defensive hand. This one, not so much. He can be strong with it, and he can even prevent me from coming up. It's harder for him to prevent me from going out to the shoulder and coming up, but some guys are even that strong, but he can never do what? Pull his hard skin. Like, don't let me get it. He can never prevent me from coming out of the shoulder, right? We just ran that all last month. But, so we don't care, as this hand is not as much of the problem. We're going to deal with it soon enough, but it's not as much of the problem. This hand is the one that can stop us in our tracks and make us have to reset the whole grip fight. All right, so my first thing I'm looking for is near side hand control. We cover hands. Okay, we don't cover wrists, cover hands. Okay, we over the knuckles. We can't grab fingers. We grab over the knuckles. And bonus points if you can kind of taco them in, curl them in. Same thing we do with the toes when we're capturing toes for leg locks. If we can curl them in on each other, it's painful and you have way better control because their grip is so weak. Their fingers are caked in. All right, so near side hand control. Now, depending on what he does, this is where, if you've been running the straight jacket system the past month, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But for this particular drill, let's just go ahead and get double straights. Often he might be already gripping me here. We pull it out. It's just like last month, right? However you want to do it. You can even mix it up each time you run this throughout the month. I don't care. My goal, though, is to get you to double straights. When you get here, we've got both hands covered, left on left, right on right. Now I want to do the pass off. Okay, this is where I was bolting him to his stomach, right? Keeping that circle closed, that weakness in the grip closed. I'm lifting, I'm letting go of the primary hand. I'm making this space between our wrists so that I can swim inside. My thumb goes to the suicide zone and I cover hand and I'm right back bolting him down because this is weak, like right here, right? It's the weakness right there. So if he extends really hard right now, he can get it out. So as quickly as I can, I'm looking to cover his hand and then bolt it down and almost turn it in like I'm throttling a bike. I'm turning it into his stomach. So as he goes to extend, it's difficult. Okay, it's not impossible, but it's difficult. Okay, this, for people who don't know yet, this is called a single cross. Okay, this is where my left hand is gripping his right hand. Anytime we get to a single cross grip, it means what in relation to his wrist? And the straight jacket system, anybody who knows? I know some of y'all know.
When you get the cross grip in relation to his wrist.
Where's his wrist right now?
Oh, when it's starting point.
It's below his sternum.
So you can.
And what does that mean?
Trap it.
I can always trap it. I can take, if it's up here, super hard, lots of flexibility required to bring my heel all the way up here. I can't do it. Most people can't. When it's below the sternum, I can always touch my own hand with my own heel. Okay. Once I've trapped the arm, once I've made contact, I never leave contact with his body. I extend all the way down. Shoelaces come and I make contact with the small of his back with my shoelaces. My immediate priority after that is hunting for his primary hand. Okay, but now I've got two against his one. So as he reacts, I'm just looking to get near side control again, however it happens. Okay, I can even come up for a choke and he's defending, and we pummel and we take it. Bolt it right down. And now we're exactly where we ended last month, right? We're going further this month, but we're exactly where we ended last month, where now it's a one hand versus the chin. Okay, we talked about in comp class some ways of opening the chin. We're going to continue doing that in comp class. But right now, we're going to stop here because that's not part of this monthly flow. We're going to assume in the next phase of this flow that we just could not get this. This guy's too tough and I just cannot open the chin for whatever reason. He just isn't having it. Okay. So one more time. We're here, got our seatbelt. We just took his back. I want near side wrist control. Okay. He can, if he's grabbing, I've got an indirect hand. We gotta get out and cover. As soon as I get to double straights, okay, and I can bolt down, now we do the pass off. here. Now the wrist is below the sternum. I can touch my own hand, which means I can trap his arm. Shoelaces to the back. And now I hunt for this hand. Near side. Right? And we're going to stop right here. We've won the straight jacket battle. Like this is what we were after on the underhook side. Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. What's that?
I like the cue of attacking the hand. You know where your hand is. You also proprioceptively, like, I know where my hand is.
Yeah.
I don't know where his hand is.
Proprioception. Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny. In Danaher's instructional,
Yeah.
he says prior perception.
Oh, it does.
And I'm like,
That's wrong, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, I'd never heard Danaher say something.
That's because he's from New Zealand.
Maybe they call it something different over there.
They're wrong, but maybe.
It was the first moment I heard Danaher say something that wasn't like
Perfect.
yeah, like just so eloquent and perfect.
Yeah. It's weird. All right.
That's
Stacy, you got any water downstairs? Thing. So here, that's the basics.
She needs, getting straight.
Right.
Can you get it off of the?
They got it next door.
You were out.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right.
then come in.
And then put these over for the hand.
I'm Thursday. And there's a head up.
Oh, yeah. But I'll get that.
Okay. Got it. Now it's a little straight. You're gonna defend. This is fine. You put the hand out.
Right. Well, the sternum.
Yep.
Yeah. Back. Spot back. Getting control.
Super duper shock. Whatever is next. But
Right.
that's the end of the sequence.
Right.
Yep.
I'll be back.
Yeah, boxes. Yeah. So I'll shoot you.
That adds a whole other element. Whole layer.
Okay.
all right, right here. Let's go to double straights, Brian. Double straights first.
Double straight.
Yep. All right. Now we need to do this pass off. So how do we do the pass off? So we're gonna lift the right hand, right? Make some space between your wrists. You let go of the left hand. And then you come inside. The thumb goes to his wrist, fingers on top of his wrist with your left hand. No, with your left hand. Your left hand swims inside. Nope. Your left hand swims inside. Nothing else changes but your left hand swims on the inside of your wrists, both of your wrists. Like swims you lift and this swims to the inside. There we go.
Okay.
Right? Now you're in single cross.
Then I grab here.
It doesn't matter so much,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
As long as yes, maybe, but as long as you have that single cross grip, now you can trap the arm. Right, now you need to hunt for his other hand. Get near side again. Okay. And that's it. That's where we stop.
I got you.
So, here, okay.
Let's see yours, Tucker.
Yeah.
Double straight.
Good. No, let's go to the underhook side.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Double straights. Do a pass off. So we lift the right hand, expose his wrists so that your left hand can swim inside. Thumb to the suicide zone. Thumb on the inside though. Like a thumb to his suicide zone.
Ow.
Right there. Yep. Now you're in single cross.
So
Now your own shield comes to your hand. Yep. And you carve down. Shoelaces extend. Yep. And that's it.
is that not just figure 4?
Where?
Single cross if it's taller than you.
All right, so get double.
You do a pass off?
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's not a figure four.
is that what it is then?
No, that's just a single cross.
And you don't really have to worry about.
It looked like a
having
figure four earlier.
It kind of reminds me of one, man.
Hey, can you show us the pass offs?
Yeah.
Here.
So then, get this,
Double straights. Yep.
and then
We lift the right. We make space for our left hand to swim in. Like you have to let the left hand go as you make space for your it to pummel inside.
It's like
Not quite, not quite. Here, I'm gonna move your hands for you. Everyone is struggling with this, so don't worry. I'm gonna move your hands for you.
Yeah.
Here.
That was like.
so that the
You raise that wrist and it makes space between y'all's wrists. You pummel inside, catch the wrist, and then you bolt it down.
okay, so breathe.
Raise, let go of his left hand, come to the inside. Perfect. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
That's single cross.
Okay.
Everyone can still do.
Yeah, let's see it. So pass over?
Yeah.
For the pass off?
Yeah.
That's pass over. That's not different.
Making it not as sophisticated as this. So,
You're letting go with the left.
like, you're starting here.
All right. We do double straights first.
What'd you say?
Double straights.
Double straights.
Yep, perfect.
So I know I'm supposed to wrap this arm. Whatever, it looks like you're doing way more than just. Are you just reaching over?
No, so I take that like your left hand and I lift. I don't want her aggressively extending while I do this, so I kind of turn my wrist while I do it. Just long enough for this hand to pummel inside. I find the suicide zone with the thumb. And then I bolt her hand back down.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if it's impressive. So
I was like, this is too.
Yeah.
I don't know if inches. I can grab.
yes.
Okay.
And now you bolt it back down. And yeah. Shoelaces to the back. Yeah. And shoelaces to the back. That's the big thing. Yeah, double straights. And don't worry about the choke. Like no, and not just because it's the drill, but because if you rush the choke while you're even still trapping that arm, she's probably gonna get out. Like I don't think you're gonna finish that.
I'm not very good at like slowing.
Yeah.
Get faster, do it somehow. I was good fast next.
At the as you kind of like as you progress, the little details, the checkpoints will really matter because people know what you're doing.
Okay, I'll check my chin.
Right.
Yeah.
I got that. So just be having long arms, give me an advantage.
Keep that hand bolted. But now you're in a funny spot for being able to
I
try.
just mean specifically do this.
Yeah, there's a couple things that you're gonna do. So
You'll be able to.
you're saying
I'm able to talk to that. All of that. I can do that. You'll be able to.
All right.
yeah, it's good. Yep. Now we're looking at yeah. That's when you start attacking the choke.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's move on. We're gonna do we're gonna do the triangle entry and the finish real quick. And we'll call it. We're going to go 10 minutes over, guys. So if you need to go, that's no problem. All right. So we're here. Y'all adjust my camera, please. All right. Thank you. Okay. So this is where we left off, right? All right, and for whatever reason, he just got an iron chin. He has no facial hair, nothing like it just doesn't. Nothing faces this guy. There's $100,000 on the line. He is not going to tap some pain.
Wow.
All right, that's fine. So like, I'm gonna come over, and important, elbow comes inside the neck, not outside. Elbow comes inside the neck. Okay. I'm bringing the wrist out and around, going wrist to wrist. Suicide zone to suicide zone. Only when I'm here can now this hand leave and come wrist to elbow. When I'm wrist to elbow, now I'm going to start opening him up with this leg. Okay, you see how I kind of flare? I'm going to flare this and drive with this leg. The bottom leg drives across, and this leg also kind of pulls laterally. As I bring his elbow and his knuckles to my chest, I'm going to pull. I'm going to try to hug his like as deep as I can. He's going to want to follow the pressure. If you don't give him the pressure, he's not going to want to follow. So we're going to make sure we encourage him to follow. So we're going to pull him and glue his knuckles and his elbow to the chest, drive him across. And in this transition, my bottom leg starts to pummel up and look, my sole, my foot looks to the ceiling. I keep this glued to my chest the whole time. And y'all, if y'all been here for rear triangles a few months ago, you know we're just looking to make both our feet, our lower legs point the same direction, but be parallel. Okay. So one more time. All right, and when we do these reps, just for the sake of time, go ahead and start here. Okay, we're starting here. We've already got the arm trapped. We've got the near side wrist control. I can't get it, can't get it. Elbow comes out and around. I go wrist to wrist underneath. Then I go wrist to elbow. And then I'm going to heavily encourage him to move where I want him to by gluing his knuckles and his elbow to my chest. And look, I'm not pulling him so much as I'm going to use the leverage of my leg to kind of help in assisting and bringing him to my chest. I don't want to just try to pull him with my arms and make my body super extended. I'm going to stay nice and shelled up and use my leg to open him up. Once I'm here and I've got it glued, I'm going to continue pulling with my back. I'm not like pulling with my arms so much. I'm just keeping this nice and glued, wrist to wrist, wrist to elbow. This continues to flare. This drives, and I pull across. As I pull, this foot comes out and faces the ceiling, and then my top foot faces the same direction. I keep the elbow and the knuckles glued to my chest the entire time. Okay? And then we're going to do the finish. All right, let's everybody get just a few reps of this. It's not that hard, super simple. And then we're going to move on and do that finish. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, wrist to wrist first. Before you like left wrist to wrist. Just like, yeah, connect your wrist, right? And then get your right finger to his elbow, your left wrist to his elbow. And now you're going to open him up with your leg and pull his knuckles to his chest.
Okay, I was.
Drive him across. You have to hold the right leg up. Yep, and make your feet point the same direction. Right. So, yeah, walk it in a second. But that's the idea. That's the key thing there when you come across is that both your feet are pointed the same direction. They're even slightly pointed out. You don't have to be like the just on that line. I'm on that line. Yeah,
This got that. That's the problem. You got me quote. You got. People pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's like. I want. That's how. That's why it hurts. That works. It's not like we're in a train. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Still AMC?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you never had sex there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of your problem is this is not that much. You want to say, but yeah. Okay. So here. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Twist it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It'd be a really tough.
No, you
Got the crimson shades.
Correct.
Bill.
Yeah.
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 Trout. Have trouble. So I'm actually going to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easier. Here. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, keeping your arms in. That's not, you know, trying to.
Oh, yeah. That's different. So cool. They're different. Halfway through that.
Right. Yeah, that's
I know this deck.
that's the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Bar, first one. Yes, that's why I think.
All right, let's circle up. I'm gonna give you the one more detail on that and the finish. It'll all be on video, and then we'll do it. We'll probably do it again Monday. We'll go over some of these details again Monday, just to make sure everybody's really got it, and then we'll get back on escapes. So we're gonna do the. Let's do the other, just like this angle here. All right, when I'm here, first off, be disciplined with this, right? I don't want this just like chilling. It's always back healing, okay? Next, when I come out, this hand doesn't leave until I've made contact and I'm cupping in. Okay, almost like we're about to arm wrestle. Okay. And then, except I'm gonna win because my elbow's on the inside. If I was here, he actually might beat me on this. Or he's way stronger because his lat's involved. Here, he's not gonna beat me on that. Okay, then I come to wrist, elbow. Now look, don't pull him so much with your arms. Open him up. You see how when I'm not moving anything but my right leg, my right knee flares. Watch his elbow. I didn't move anything else. Okay, I'm just flaring. As I start to flare and then I start to extend a little bit with my spine, it puts a ton of pressure on the shoulder. Okay. Then I also drive with this leg. But watch this. But as I drive over right here, he's holding my feet, see how me do it. Right? This has to pummel on the inside, and this top leg that was the bottom, I want this knee on his chest. I don't want it up here. I want it like on his chest. If it's up here, he might be able to turn really hard to the left, right? Might be able to turn into me. I want to make sure I shut that pathway down. So now as he goes to turn, it's really hard to turn at all. Yeah, I'm making contact with his chin. My feet, the soles of my feet are pointing the same direction. Okay, I don't want, or anytime we're doing triangles, we don't want our feet pointing in different directions. We want our feet pointing the same direction when we're trying to do this like initial triangle, this initial phase. Okay, this maximizes my control. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Any question on that so far? All right, for the finish, again, I'm holding wrist to wrist and wrist to elbow. I'm gluing this to my chest. Okay. I'm gonna lock my initial lock. This isn't the lock that finishes him, and you shouldn't treat it as such. It's just the initial lock. It's a trap triangle, right? Going back to a few months ago when we were going over triangles. The adjustment is after I've made my lock, I'm going to continue gluing his knuckles to my chest. If you have to prioritize the elbow or the knuckles, do the knuckles. Wrist to wrist, glue the knuckles to the chest, reach down and grab my own foot, okay, the outside toes of my foot, and pull it up, okay? Make it tighter here, and I'm going to lock my shoelaces around the back or the hip. And now the finish is going to be bringing my knees towards my chest and in. Okay? So one more time. From the single cross trap, got this, iron chin, elbow, wrist to wrist, wrist to elbow. I open him up to glue his knuckles to my chest. I drive him across, foot pommeled up, and knee goes to the chest. Okay? Sometimes you also might find, you might feel a little out of position with your hips. If you do, you put your toes on his hip and extend them a little bit to change the angle. Here, we lock our initial lock. I keep his knuckles glued to my chest. I reach down, grab my toes, the outside toes of my feet, or toe of my foot, pull it up, extend, shoelaces come under, knees come together and towards my chest. Cool. Questions? All right, let's everybody get a few reps of that, and then we'll start comp class. All right, if you need to go though, please go. Like, don't feel like you got to stay. All right, 1, 2, 3. And that is the whole flow for the month. We'll tighten up a couple of things Monday as well. So don't worry.
It was the wrong. I was wrong. It was the. It was
And now we're up.
See
you, bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Yeah, you too.
Good to see you, man. See you, bro. See you later.
Here, man. I'll see you.
See you, Father.
Probably the 28th. I'll try to make it. That's
Okay.
back by that.
Okay.
So,
the bottom.
take care.
See you later.
Be gone 3 weeks.
Oh no.
Everybody behave.
Where's is this like sabbatical?
No, this is my vacation for the year.
Yeah.
Jawline of a freaking.
Where are you driving out? Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Have fun, bro.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah.
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 You can never sit there. They're like, it's like I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks. It's take I gotta do some.
Bro, my neck.
Just, I would like some neck rolling.
Yeah.
Open them up with your leg, though, Brian. Right? Like, don't worry about doing his knuckles with your arms. Like, you can put it back.
I need
If your elbows back to the right side of his head.
to.
Yeah, go back out. Yeah. Yeah. Wrist to wrist, wrist to elbow. All right, stop right there. You flare your right hand out. His elbow is naturally going to start coming.
Oh, that's right.
Flare your right knee out. Like, hit my hand with your knee. Hit my hand with your knee. Try to hit my knee. See how his elbow's moving now? That's the idea.
You can
And you can use your arms to assist, but like you can initiate.
That was
Those knuckles to your chest, knuckles to your chest. All right, knee to the chest.
I didn't try the right way.
Yeah, at this point, that's just what Ready, so.
Pull it up. Lock your shoelaces. Your shoelaces to under the hip. Okay.
Very good. He's actually, I say, maybe one time.
It comes out.
I submitted a apology to that competition.
That was a play time.
Or wait.
I just fold it. Yeah. She could just walk out. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, open, initiate from your leg. Yeah, it's much easier to initiate from your leg.
Well, I guess it's point is enough.
Put your right knee on your chest.
All right.
Yeah, just make sure it's on your chest.
Right.
That's coming down on the chin. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you need to make that adjustment, you can trip off of her hip. Now lock the initial lock. Now make the adjustment. You can reach down, extend your right leg.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, now lock up under the hip. Now knees and knees up.
Yeah.
God.
This one will give you some style points too. Yeah.
I can see that. I think we have
Especially down in white blue belt. No one's expecting what we were trying to do. So you can like,
an open mouth.
Yeah.
So you, and it's not like what we learned. About
It's
Two strokes.
yeah.
like this.
Oh, plus three. But here's.
Doesn't matter so much. I think it's hard to go through if you're really being tight with your head. Yeah. You're gonna have to move your head out of the way. Yeah.
Tight with your head.
Yeah.
Here.
Wrist to wrist. Just up like a little monkey. Yeah. And then wrist elbow. And then open her up. Initiate the opening with your knee. Yeah.
Just open.
And then the shift, it's blades. And then knuckles. Take it to your chest. Make your feet point the same direction. Make your feet point the same direction. You can put your ball sit on your head. I can walk. Just sit down and pull and extend your right foot. Now, knee and it needs to check.
Right. Yeah, it felt great.
What do you think, Bob?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, just like, go great. Grab your hand. Such a sweet, so.
Yeah, like if you like really like work almost like scissor like and it's if you contemplate as much you can
Cinches it even
get
tighter.
as much bite out of it as possible. Then you tie it with your skin.
Well, I love so much. We said,
Pull and extend and then tie the shoulders. Yeah. And if you need it, so knees go here's a bit after your chest.
more for that.
And that,
So many details. I just taught a very similar sequence, super bomb Giles.
And it's kind of fun.
That was for a trap. She really-
Oh, yeah. Different side?
Yeah. And active climbs a little bit. Same. Back control. Correct. Exactly.
Are we gonna get the rows in before the?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I feel like I'm
All right, y'all. Hey, let's get a match in, and before we start comp class, we'll go over this some more on Monday, and make sure everybody feels good about it, so you can do it all month, and then start styling on people. Are there any questions?